There was, according to UN statistics, roughly 260,000 people still in the city. So that means there's still around 150 to 160,000 people that, like what happened to these people? Nobody knows what happens to these people. What reporting coming out now is that almost everybody's been uprooted and ran away, but many of them have not been able to, probably, more than 100,000 or maybe more, have not been able to flee, either to an area which is controlled by neutral forces, a nearby area called Tawila, or to try to reach Chad. Instead, they're systematically being held for ransom, by the RSF, or aligned groups with the RSF, and often people that have been destitute and can't afford food, for 550 days or more, because it's the politics of a war economy. When you place a place under siege, then all of the prices start to inflate and boom immediately, right? So people are not able to afford the basics. It's really quite impossible to imagine many of them can afford freeing their loved ones.
There's so many layers of people who are affected here. You've got, as you say, these people who were families of people who were displaced in the original, 2003 conflict, 2003 genocide. You've got families who've been displaced over the course of this conflict from other parts of Darfur by the RSF, carrying out, capturing places, the normal displacement that happens in a conflict, but also credibly accused of carrying out massacres and other atrocities in other parts of Darfur. You've got the people who live there. So yeah, it's just a massive. I mean, it was a massive number of people that I was almost surprised it was as few as 260,000 were estimated to be left. But what can we sort of piece together factually in terms of what's happening?
In the first few days, the RSF stormed a hospital. There were reports that members of community kitchens, um, they call them takia. They are members of what's called this network of neighborhood groups that are essentially sustaining people within the war. With basic sustenance and just community initiatives. They're called emergency response rooms. Some of these volunteers, I think the volunteers in general, were systematically targeted. Some of them were killed, from my understanding. Essentially, people that were notable civil society were viewed immediately as being perceived as supporters of the army, and they were targeted.